This isn't just about launching a new car. For us, this is about closing the book on one of the greatest engineering masterpieces of our time and starting a brand new story. It's a shift that's going to define what Bugatti is for years to come. We live by this sentence. Seriously, it's taped to our computer monitors, it's scrawled on our whiteboards, it's our North Star. It guided every single decision we made, especially when we were faced with the, let's be honest, impossible task of replacing an icon. We knew we couldn't just evolve. We had to completely reinvent what a Bugatti could be. Okay, so to really understand where we're going, you first have to appreciate where we've been. You have to appreciate the engine that defined us for 2 whole decades. The W16 wasn't just part of the car, it really was the car. Now, this architecture is completely unique. It's not a V16. We didn't just build an engine, we had to create a whole new layout to solve a huge packaging problem. What we did was, we basically took 2 very compact, narrow-angle V8 engines and fused them together at the crankshaft. And that's how we got 16 cylinders of power into a package that was, frankly, miraculously compact. The sheer scale of these numbers. It's hard to wrap your head around, even for us. When the Veyron came out with 1,001 horsepower, people thought we were completely insane. 8 liters, 4 turbochargers, and a cooling system with more than 10 radiators. These numbers were absolutely unprecedented, and we spent the next 20 years just pushing them further and further, all the way past 1,600 horsepower. And this number, 60,000. That's how many liters of air this engine swallows every single minute at full throttle. Just to put that into perspective, you and we breathe about 8 liters of air a minute. The W16 is less of an engine and more of a mechanical force of nature. It's an atmospheric event happening under the hood. I cannot stress this enough. Look, anybody can add more boost, cram in more fuel, but managing the colossal amount of heat that comes from that kind of power, that was the real war we fought in the engineering department. That crazy network of over 10 radiators wasn't just an option, it was the only way to keep this thing from melting itself into a very, very expensive puddle. But as we all know, even the most incredible legends have to have a final chapter. The time came when we knew, with a lot of pride and, a bit of sadness, that the era of the W16 was coming to a close. For 20 years, this engine was the beating heart of every modern Bugatti. It started with the absolutely groundbreaking Veyron back in 2005, then we re-engineered it for the even crazier Chiron, and it had its final encore in the Mistral Roadster. It was a true titan of the automotive world, the absolute peak of pure internal combustion power. Now, this wasn't just a decision we made in a vacuum. The world was changing all around us. You have stricter emissions regulations coming down the pipe, the entire industry is pushing towards electrification, and let's be real, the astronomical complexity and cost of hand-building every single one of these W16 engines, it meant we had to look forward. We had to find a new way. And that brings us to this. This was the one question that kept my team and me up at night for months on end. The pressure was just immense. The answer couldn't be ordinary. It couldn't be comparable. It had to be, in every single sense of the word, a Bugatti. So what was our answer? We didn't downsize. We didn't just add more turbos to a smaller engine. Nope, we went even crazier. While the rest of the world was shrinking engines and adding turbos, our new CEO, Mate Rimac, he championed a completely different philosophy. He personally challenged us and our partners at Cosworth to create something totally unique, a celebration of the internal combustion engine. And the result? This monster, a naturally aspirated 8.3-liter V16. This time around, we were aiming for a totally different kind of performance. We traded the brute force of those turbochargers for the soul of a high-revving, naturally aspirated engine that just screams all the way to 9,000 RPM. And then we boosted that raw emotion with the instant, surgical power of a hybrid system, pushing the total output to an unbelievable 1,800 horsepower. So here's how the magic works. The V16 engine itself makes a staggering 1,000 horsepower, all on its own. Then we add 3 powerful electric motors, 2 up front, driving the front axle for incredible all-wheel drive grip and torque vectoring, and a third one integrated with the rear axle. It's really the best of both worlds. You get that spine-tingling crescendo of a high-revving engine and the instant warp-speed torque of electric power. And the performance leap, it's just staggering. The Veyron was a revolution, the Chiron was even faster. But our new car, getting from 0 to 186 miles per hour, that's 300 kilometers per hour, in under 10 seconds, we've completely shattered the benchmarks that we ourselves set. So what we've really created here are not just two different engines. They are two entirely different philosophies of what a hypercar should be. It's the past and the future of Bugatti right here, side by side. The W16 was our mechanical legacy. It was all about achieving this ultimate, overwhelming power through sheer mechanical complexity, those quad turbos forcing air into that massive engine. The V16, though, that's the start of our performance era. It's about raw, unfiltered emotion, the instant response you only get from a naturally aspirated engine, that thrilling climb to 9,000 RPM, and a sound. A sound people have described as a V8 growl meeting a Formula One scream. And that brings us to the future, and what this new engine truly represents for the Bugatti brand as we push forward into a whole new age of performance. Think about it. In a world that's rapidly shifting towards silent, efficient, electric vehicles, this is our statement. It's a defiant celebration of the internal combustion engine, engineered to its most exhilarating, its most emotional, and its most powerful peak. This isn't just a car. It's an experience. It's a piece of art. The W16 was, without a single doubt, the absolute pinnacle of its time. So that's the question we want to leave with you. Is this new V16 hybrid the perfect encore? A brilliant blend of old-school soul and new-school tech? Or is it the last great, magnificent roar of the combustion engine before the world goes silent? Either way, we are incredibly excited to begin this audacious new chapter in our history.